from the CyberHub bunker and studio. You're tuning in to the CyberHub podcast. And now for your host and CISO, James Azar.
All right, folks. Happy Monday. Good morning. January 25th, 2021. I hope you had a great, relaxing, enjoyable weekend. Monday, week kicks off all over again. I say this every Monday, but it really does feel like, because I turn off my phone on Friday to Saturday, and I say this all the time, like, I feel like Monday's a new day, a new week, everything. I start working yesterday, but today is kind of like the official kickoff. So that's that. Today's show is brought to you by our friends over at Know Before and Wistic. Make sure to check them out. If you're watching us on YouTube, they are linked right below this video, so you can check it out. We are live, so you can comment, ask questions. We have a lot of different things. We have 5 different stories to talk about today. We'll start with Intel, and then we'll go. We've got some SolarWinds updates, some geopolitical updates in regards to SolarWinds. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. But before we do that, our ceremonial coffee. So I'm drinking, again, another double espresso. I enjoy espressos. I hope y'all do too. Join me for a ceremonial cup of coffee this morning. Now, let's get right into today's stories. But before we do that, if you are watching us live, please make sure to subscribe and comment. If you're listening on your favorite podcast listening platform, make sure to subscribe and give us a 5-star review. That helps us get pushed up in the rankings so more people can see our content. So I'm grateful for your support. Let's get right into today's stories. No need to push any more time away. So here we go. Over the weekend, folks, last week of January, reporting fourth quarter results started last night, kind of. Some companies started announcing over the weekend. However, this one, very serious for those who actually work in a publicly traded company. So the computer chip maker Intel Core, this according to Security Week, on Friday blamed an internal error for a data leak that prompted it to release their quarterly earnings report early. It said its corporate network was not compromised. The company's CFO, George Davis, had earlier told the Financial Times that Intel published its earnings ahead of the stock market's close on Thursday because it believed a hacker stole financially sensitive information from the site. The company's quarterly results were originally scheduled to be published hours later after the close of trading on Wall Street. An infographic was hacked off of our PR newsroom site. The newspaper quoted Davis as saying, it quoted an unnamed company spokesperson as saying Intel was notified that the graphic was circulating outside the company. On Friday, Intel issued a statement saying it had determined that no hack occurred. It said the URL of our earnings infographic was inadvertently made publicly accessible before publications of our earnings and accessed by third parties. Once we became aware of this situation, we promptly issued our earnings announcements. Intel's network was not compromised, and we have adjusted our process to prevent this in the future. The company's stock did close down by more than 9% on Friday. Unknown if that's because of the incident or simply because of their quarterly earnings. Something very interesting. We've talked about this quite frequently in a lot of CISO roundtables. What happens if you're a publicly traded company, someone gets access of your quarterly results, leaks them beforehand, could really stumble and cause a lot of damage to organizations. Obviously, now we know this to be true. So let's move very quickly as well. So QNAP warns users to secure NAS devices against Dovecat malware. So QNAP, we've spoken about them for months on end, is now urging customers to secure their network-attached storage devices against an ongoing malware campaign that infects and exploits them to mine Bitcoin without knowledge. This is from Bleeping Computer. I'll have the link available in the description and also on our website at cyberhubpodcast.com. But there are malware removal tools in development. There are a bunch of ways to protect your NAS device from these attacks, including updating your QTS to the latest version, installing the latest version of the malware remover, install a security counselor, and run intermediate security policy, install a firewall, enable network access protection, use stronger admin passwords, use stronger passwords for database administrators, disable SSH and Telnet services, and disable unused services and apps. and avoid using default port numbers 8443, 8080, and 8081 as well. So that's all there. Make sure you address that if you're using it. SonicWall says it was hacked using 0 days in its own products. This is a story that broke on Friday night. Networking device maker SonicWall said on Friday that it was investigating a security breach of its internal networks after detecting what it described as a coordinated attack. In a short statement posted on its knowledge portal, the company said that the highly sophisticated threat actors targeted its internal systems by exploiting probable zero-day vulnerabilities on certain SonicWall secure remote access products. The company listed the NetExtender VPN clients and the secure mobile access gateways as impacted. SonicWall said that the newer SMA 1000 series is not impacted, as that particular product series is using a different VPN client than the NetExtender version. Patches for the zero-day vulnerabilities are not available as of right now. This is according to a report by ZDNet that was written over the weekend. In researching before reporting this story, I couldn't find any updates of whether or not there was a patch for it, but this is a 0 day. We're obviously seeing an increased amount of attack on cybersecurity vendors taking advantage of their own vulnerabilities to target customers. And it's Monday, and it's January, and I haven't said SolarWinds for like 7 minutes. So let's get right into that, huh? Because we can't go a Monday without SolarWinds. So SolarWinds, obviously, a great impact, very sophisticated cyber espionage attack has now reached the desk of President Joe Biden, who's instructed U.S. intelligence agencies to provide him with a detailed assessment of the SolarWinds attack, of the SolarWinds hack, which fueled a global cyber espionage campaign, impacting many high-profile government agencies and businesses. The U.S. government and others have said that Russia is likely behind the highly sophisticated attack on SolarWinds. Folks, 4 different types of malware, 4 different types of that have been found so far within the SolarWinds infrastructure. Not all were Russian. Some have been used by Russians. Others are used by criminal threat actors. So we will remain to see that. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki said in a press briefing on Thursday that to this end, the president is also issuing a tasking to the intelligence community for its full assessment of the SolarWinds cyber breach, Russian interference in the 2020 elections, its use of chemical weapons against opposition leader Alexei Navalny, and the alleged bounties on U.S. soldiers in Afghanistan. Biden said that we can't let this breach go unanswered. Obviously, he has done some positive cybersecurity moves so far in his administration. He's moved former NSA cybersecurity director Ann Neuberger into a role in the White House to coordinate all federal cybersecurity modernization, as well as security of all federal networks. He's also hired several other high-key, very respected cybersecurity professionals. Hopefully that'll be effective. Now we get to Russia. Russia has a new president in-house that's Russian, and so the Russian government is warning its businesses and its government agencies of a possible U.S. retaliatory attack. The security warning has been issued by Russians' NKTSky, which issued a warning to Russian organizations to improve their network security. According to the alert, in the face of constant accusations of involvement in organizing computer hacks against the Russian Federation by representatives of the United States and their allies, as well as threats from their sides for retaliatory attacks on critical information infrastructure facilities of the Russian Federation, we recommend to take the following measures to improve the security of information resources, according to the translated message by Bleeping Computer. Russia's National Coordination Center for Computer Incidents is part of the Federal Security Services, the FSB, which replaced the KGB in Russia and was created to detect, prevent, and counter cyber attacks on the country's infrastructure and businesses. They've listed there's 15 different bullets here that you can see on the screen of what they've recommended. And obviously, this SolarWinds thing is only going to heat up over the next month or two as more and more discoveries get done. That's it for our practitioner brief here today, folks. Thanks so much for watching us. Thanks so much for tuning in live. You can catch all of our content on our YouTube channel at CyberHub Podcast or your favorite podcast listening platform, CyberHub Podcast. You can look that up. On Friday, we had a Tech Corner with the awesome Renee Small and Dr. Dan Schaefer talking about the cyber burnout. So if you're feeling a little burnout, it's a great 40-minute podcast to go listen to. Some great tips by Dr. Dan there on just the mental health aspect of the job that I think is very, very critical. And I'm going to be trying to do this more at least once a month, bring some mental health content around cybersecurity. Some of the statistics I've seen have caused me to feel a little more the need that we need to talk beyond security, also about the mental health of the job. So that's it for us here today, folks. Please make sure to subscribe, like, share, and let everyone know about the podcast. We are live 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time each and every single week. Until tomorrow, folks, thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for watching today's and listening to today's show, and stay cyber safe.
We love feedback, so make sure to connect with us on social media and subscribe to our podcast on your favorite podcast listening platform.